Welcome to the Angel Rewatch, a spoiler-free retrospective podcast on Angel. I'm William.
And I'm Derek, and this is a podcast for Slouching towards Bethlehem, originally airing October 27th, 2002, written by Jeffrey Bell. So Cordelia is back with no memories, kind of. She obviously knows how to walk, talk, and her basic personality is there, but she has no idea of her own personal history or the world she's in. So Angel and crew decide to keep everything from her, and this goes terribly. Cordelia finds something weird, freaks out, and Angel tries to explain. Rinse and repeat. Lauren also reads her and discovers that some horrible big bad evil is coming. Eventually this all ends with Cordelia being attacked by one of Lauren's clients. Connor, who's been creeping around, kills it, and Cordelia runs away with him. Lyle and Wesley are sexing each other up. Wesley calls what they're doing a relationship, then later Lyle gets a call. She walks out of the bedroom to take it, but Wesley overhears the conversation. Lila is told that Cordelia is back and with Connor, so she orders her people to trap the two of them. She then leaves Wesley's apartment without showering, so, gross. But not as gross as what's about to come up, and we'll get to that. Wesley then goes to the Hyperion and tells the gang that Cordelia is with Connor. So they all rush in, sans Wesley, and save Cordelia and Connor from being overwhelmed. There's also this weird thing where Cordelia and Connor bond and she feels safe with him, but that's icky, so I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, once the Wolf and Harp goons plant a camera in Connor's lair, it's not really the apartment, Lila tells them to all skedaddle. No one finds this suspicious at all, though perhaps it's just because everyone is too weirded out by Cordelia and Connor. Cordelia decides to stay with Connor, and Angel tries not to act jealous. Again, ew. The gang then goes back to Hyperion to find Lauren tied up. The Cordelia-Connor thing was just a distraction by Wolf and Hart. They really wanted what was in Lauren's head after reading Cordelia. A mind demon sucked it out of Lauren, and now Wolf and Hart has more information about the evil that is coming than Angel investigations. The gang thinks that they've been played by Wesley, but it was all a ploy. Lila knew that Wesley was listening, but didn't kill Lauren because of his relation to Wesley. The episode ends with Angel being all broody, losing Cordelia to his son. Again, ew. And that's the end of our recap.
Again, ew.
That sums up my feelings.
I found this episode very difficult on rewatch.
I'm finding this season very difficult on rewatch.
Well, I don't know. The last 3 episodes haven't been...
Okay, I think I'm going to... That is true. I think this is going to start being difficult for us on rewatch.
Right.
Because what I actually do like about season 4 is that there is a cumulative effect to the stories, where little things are building up to bigger things. There's not a whole lot of, at least if there is a case of the week, there's something that will come back later. And that's all.
As vague as you can be.
That's as vague as it's allowed.
Right.
Again, though, doesn't matter how vague I have to be, the Cordelia Connor stuff is icky.
Yeah. I find
just
that
in
really,
this episode.
Yeah, I find that very bizarre. And yeah, again, it's really hard on rewatch not to be informed of.
Okay, well, I can talk about it,
know where it's going.
I can talk about just my problems with this particular story.
Sure.
Okay. First of all, I should just preface this by saying that this is probably going to be a negative podcast.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I really want to talk about and be positive about, I want to keep to feedback, and that is the Lila and Wesley stuff. So this is going to be a bummer for everybody. All right, so it's, again, I'm not too crazy about the amnesia concept, because there are stories where I think it can work. Mm-hmm. One of those is that the character is just a blank slate and we meet them with amnesia. And if it's a character we know getting amnesia, it has to be brief and there has to be a reason for it. So far, I don't know what the reason is for this. So Not too wild about it. And also, I will say what I kind of enjoy, I guess, is that she's acting like Cordelia. But she has no memories of Cordelia and that's not great, since Cordelia's pretty social of a character, and kind of all her character development has been erased for the past 4 seasons, so whatever. That's... I guess. It's really not fine. It's terrible and awful, and I hate it. Anyway, what?
Well, what I was going to say is, that's something that is kind of irking me. The Amnesia storyline is basically dependent on where they go with it.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes, it is.
Because they have kind of slightly regressed her. Obviously she has no memory, so she's gone back a long ways. But she's still Cordelia. But I
don't think they've regressed her. It's that she's acting like Cordelia, but Cordelia has no idea who these people are. Mm-hmm. So how would Cordelia, if Cordelia
woke up and didn't know who she was or who these people are,
that's how
would she respond?
Yeah.
You're right.
I don't think they've regressed her. It's just, if she doesn't care about these people, then that's why I understand what you're saying, because she's a lot meaner.
Uh-huh.
She's like high school Cordelia, but again, she has woken up. She just showed up in this place. These people started lying to her, and they're weird and kind of creepy. So I think she has every right to be kind of angry. I don't think they've regressed her. They could, because I think when she's with Connor, as icky as that is, I will actually say there are parts of that story in the beginning where I find kind of intriguing.
Right. No, I think that
because she's acting more compassionate, and
she's more compassionate. I also like the hints of something is coming.
Yes. Well, that's not really in the Connor stuff, is it?
Well, she starts
that's right.
getting really emotional, and she's like scared because she has this terrible feeling that something is coming or something has happened.
Mm-hmm. Which, so I find interesting, because I as much as I don't care for Cordelia having amnesia, I like it in the sense that I'm sort of curious about why. Like, why is she back? What is the terrible thing that is coming? Did Cordelia know it was coming on a higher plane and she sacrificed her memories or whatever to get down here, or she did something reckless and as a higher being, and that's why she can't remember?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the only way that the Cordelia stuff is going to work for me is that it is wrapped up very quickly. And what I find intriguing about the Connor stuff is a way to get Connor back into the group, because let's just assume that Cordelia gets her memories back. She's still going to have that relationship with Connor before it gets weird, because it gets weird. But I like when it's just that because everyone is lying to her, and I like that Connor is strange and blunt, and that is somewhat comforting to her in the state that she's in. But then they ruin it by making it weird and sexual.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's in that conversation even.
What?
Like even the way she talks to Connor, how she's like, "Well, I feel so comfortable with you," blah blah. But really, it's the like cuddling right before they get attacked that like weirded me out.
We don't really see that. It has just happened.
Right. Well, he's got his arm draped on her, like his hand is on her boob. I'm really uncomfortable.
No, just I don't have a problem at all. I actually think it's a smart idea to pair the two of them up, because I think she probably, if Cordelia was around when Angel banished him, I think she probably would have gone along with that. I also think that eventually she would be the person to bring him back, because obviously he did seem to like her. Now, the way he has showed affection to her is sexually, and it's icky. The sexual element of it is what I find repulsive.
Right.
And they make sure to underline in the beginning of the episode that Cordelia is not his mom, when she is.
Right.
To set up that because it's not even sexual tension, because that would imply that it's natural in some way. Where it's just really forced that Connor is obviously attracted to her, and she is maybe not. I don't know. Is it?
I don't know if she's shown attraction towards him, but
there's definitely the way the Angel responds to it is as if he is being beaten by Connor romantically, and the way that Fred cheers him up sounds exactly like that. Like, she will figure out who the real champion is eventually.
Yeah, that's obviously the take that the episode took on. So that's what we're supposed to be getting from it,
because it's icky.
Also, how old is Connor supposed to be?
I don't know. We talked about this. I don't know. Let's just assume he's 18, because anything then it's really just going to upset me. But I think we should. Why? So it's icky, but there's other issues with it that I find, besides just the general creepiness of it. The fact that it is very... I don't like that we go from amnesia to, I'm going to be with this guy because he's being honest with me and you're not, because I don't think that Angel Investigations does anything wrong when they don't tell Cordelia immediately what's going on. Do you?
No, and I actually like that at the end when they have Gunn say, hey, even if we were straight up with it, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Because when they do finally tell her what's going on, she still freaks out.
The only way that it would have worked is what happened. If she had slowly figured out that things are weird about this. So, because you can't just drop that all on somebody and not... That takes a lot to just think that they're insane. They're telling me that demons are real. That can't be true. I don't know what's going on. I like, as much as it's repetitive and as much as I actually don't like the structure of the episode, I like that there's subtle hints, or just she finds clues to know that to confirm what they eventually tell her. But then Connor's just blunt with her, and I understand why she gravitates towards that. The sexual element, no, that's really forced and cliche and annoying and weird, and I don't understand why it's there. But the fact that she would feel a connection to Connor and don't have a problem with.
Right, and like you mentioned earlier, I do like the initial concept of this is a way that we can get Connor back into the group or explore Connor's character.
I do think Connor comes off quite well before he starts fondling her.
Right, yeah. I mean, we have the opening with him saving the family where they play up it being creepy.
They just play up him being creepy because he doesn't know how to talk to people.
Exactly.
He's like Angel, but somehow less socially adept, which is humorous to me. Because you didn't think it could get worse, but apparently it can.
But I do really like when Cordelia first goes with Connor and they go into wherever Connor's staying at and they look at the polar bear or whatever. I don't know. That felt kind of cool to explore his character a little bit with the whole I wish I killed it.
I like when he...
And the little banter right there was nice.
I like when he says he shows genuine remorse for sinking Angel to the bottom of the ocean and trying to kill Cordelia.
Yeah.
That's a nice moment of growth for him. I still don't feel too much about it, but it is going in a somewhat positive direction before he has her hand on her boob. And then there seemed to just... So the other thing that we're kind of dancing around is the amnesia is keeping Angel and Cordelia farther apart, and then they're adding in a love triangle with his son, which, again...
I mean, are they Or are we just reading so much into the literal cuddling? Because if they don't cut to that actual scene...
No.
I mean, I think you can probably infer that he likes her.
Yes.
Or Connor likes Cordelia.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really a trying... I don't know.
Well, I would say that it doesn't feel like a triangle until the end, where she's like, I want to stay with Connor, and Connor, like, comes up behind her, like, I don't know, like a very protective sort of, like, she's literally choosing between Angel and Connor. Like, everything about the subtext of it is a romantic thing going on.
She's choosing her champion.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Again,
does she really need that? Because she kicked the Wolfram Hart lawyers' asses pretty well. The only reason she doesn't manage to take the SWAT team or whatever that Lila always has on command is because there's too many of them.
Right. I like the first time you see her fight.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it's really short, but I really like how they choreograph that.
Yeah.
They even have like Angel do like the jump punch.
I like how they work. You can see them working together, just muscle memory. I think at one point Cordelia throws a thug over to Angel, and Angel like clotheslines him.
Right.
So I like that. Yeah, sure, whatever. Who cares?
So talking about more stuff that I actually liked in the episode, again, all of the Cordelia acting like Cordelia, the Was I a spy?
Mm-hmm. That joke about the hair, yeah.
Yeah. All of those things really worked. Especially, she's like, I am a spy. It's like, you're not a spy, says the head spy. But all those things really worked. There were some little comedy moments. I like when she's freaking out and she runs on top of Lorne and they both kind of scream at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that worked and was really funny. Like, again, there are little things in the episode that keep me from...
I'm entertained.
Yeah, exactly. It was entertaining for as much as it was... Because the storyline, like, Amnesia storylines are annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anyone that truly likes them.
I can... I'm not going to get into specifics, because that's boring. But I like when the Amnesia can tell us something about the relationship or the relationships. Like, I think we get maybe a little bit of that with... Because you find Angel creepy when he's going through her stuff, but I actually think there is potential for that in him telling her how their relationship and going over that again. Rediscovering it. I don't know. I think it can be... I think there is potential, but it has to be done very well, and it has to be quick. Like,
yeah.
It can't... If she doesn't have her memories from 2 episodes, 3 episodes from now, I'm going to be really, really annoyed. Actually, I'm already kind of annoyed and over it by the end of this one.
Well, it is kind of frustrating because...
Because what is the benefit of it? They haven't in this episode shown us what...
They've shown one benefit, which is Connor.
Yeah, is that the only thing? But then they ruin it by making it sexual.
Sure, but still, that is a way to explore a character and not redeem him, but keep him in the group.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, I don't think. I think it's a smart thing putting arguably their weakest character with arguably their strongest character, but who is Cordelia if she doesn't have her memories and her defining moments in her life? Is she really their strongest character, or is it just Charisma Carpenter being amusing because she's a reasonably good actress at playing Cordelia? Right.
And the other strength...
Well, she's a good actress at playing Cordelia. I haven't actually seen her do anything, but but that's another...
That's true.
That's another...
For a lot of Buffy and Angel alums, but...
Yeah. Whether they're typecast as their part on Buffy or they actually just can't do anything besides that, who knows?
But the other strength, obviously, is hinting at whatever the season-long arc is. The the something bad is coming, however vague that is.
Well,
like
I think it works enough.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to need more on that. Really, this is like, the good is Lila and Wesley, the bad is Connor groping Cordelia, and then the unknown is like literally everything else.
Right, exactly.
And that is why we are stuttering so much, because it is so hard to talk about this episode and pretend like we don't know where it's going.
Right. But I do appreciate, again, like all the little... Setup. It is. And it should be. It's early in the season. And like you said, like there are things that are intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are things that are just really weird and bizarre.
Yep. Okay, can we just move on to the Lila and Wesley stuff and feedback? Because I really have nothing more to say. I really don't, and that's sad. Besides the fact, okay, I will say this: the gun protesting that he's not a sidekick. Okay, keep treatment, buddy.
Okay. Right. I really wish Fred would have been like, "Okay, honey."
Well, she basically does.
Yeah.
But that implies that Angel knows they have a gun problem, which I don't think they do.
No, they just think it's more comedy gold. Well, I mean, did you want to mention anything about Lorne? Like, this is getting Lorne back. I liked them.
I find it... Okay, so here's my thing. I find it odd that he does it... So, what Lorne says to Angel is, like, he doesn't really know what's coming. He just has a feeling that something bad is on its way. But then Wolfram Hart sucks it out of him, and somehow they have more information. Can he...
Like they can process it or something?
Yeah. Is that something that has ever been established with Lorne? Because usually it's like he immediately has it. It's not like he has to ponder.
Right. Well... And what does that mean if he has to ponder? Like, then maybe it's something really big, something really dark. Like, again, all these are like...
It's just drumming up tension.
Yes, that's what it really is doing, but...
Well, I don't like that, because that's dumb. And a stupid way to set it up, rather than just... have him. It's kind of like how they've just... I feel like on their writer's board they had to-do list how to get Angel and Cordelia together, so we'll just space it out as much as possible because we don't know how to answer that question.
Well, I don't mind them doing this because, in a sense, what you're doing is, well, what would normally happen is he would read Cordelia and we'd solve the problem and we could get to move on, but this is a way you can drum up tension and take away that card that Angel Investigations always goes to. Like, we're lost. We don't know what to do. Let's get direction from Lorne. Now we don't have that. So what does that mean for us? I don't mind that.
Okay,
aspect.
Maybe you've convinced me a little bit, because that has been a little bit of a crutch for them.
As much as, like, earlier seasons was, Wesley opened the books.
Or Cordelia has a vision.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess two other smaller things. I didn't really like... I liked the really gross creature effects of the guy that tries to eat Cordelia, but I didn't think it was necessary.
Have we seen that guy, like that creature before? This is really kind of... I don't know if I've recently watched something with that kind of creature effect. I don't know what it could have been. Maybe it was Supernatural. I think it was Supernatural, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I had a memory of seeing something like this before, but I wasn't sure if that was... Anyway, you can cut all this out, because I was just wondering if we've seen this insect guy before, or it was actually another monster effect that I had seen, and actually, whatever it was, if it was an angel, it was more recent, and this actually looked comparable.
I mean, it seems comparable to other, like, horror, sci-fi stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Predator, Blade 2.
Yeah, it has a predator mouth, but I've seen something recently with a predator mouth. I didn't know if it was Angel or something else.
Right. I thought it was interesting, the Angel and Cordelia scene where he's trying to explain how things were, and
you find that creepy.
No. I found him being creepy with the, like, let's hide everything and how he kind of dance around, or like the way that he, talks about them going to the ballet. Oh, we had a really good time, and like tries to hover over her. But what I found interesting about that scene was the lack of sexual tension.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way they, like, he even tries to like lean in, and then she like immediately.
I think she starts to
interrupts it
too. I don't know. Was it you got the feeling that he was leading in, and she was just standing there, because it seemed like she was coming towards him as well.
Again, it's probably just the episode trying to be like, haha, you're not going to get it. But the way that she interrupts him with it.
So that particular moment, I felt it on both their ends, where she maybe is getting some kind of recollection of memory. It's sort of like a muscle memory thing, that he's like close to her, and that feels natural, and then she pulls away for whatever reason.
They both lean in.
Yeah, because she gets a feeling that she brings it up that they were. She wants to. She has a feeling that they were a family.
Right.
And now I'm going to go spoon with your son. So
peace. Awkward.
Whatever.
I did like earlier whenever she is weirded out and she's kind of talking to herself, and she's like, that's creepy, like cutting to Angel and Fred like waving, and how they kind of like creep up on her.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
No, so there's good, funny Charisma Carpenter / Cordelia Chase moments in this.
And that is what we've been missing for the past,
that's true, but still
3 episodes.
Don't like it. Can we move on to feedback and the thing?
Yeah, I've gotten all the blood from the stone that I think I can.
Well, it was a valiant effort. So our only comment is from Kathleen, which I'm kind of grateful about, since we don't have to talk about more about this episode, but whatever.
Well, I'm grateful that we actually had a comment period.
Well, that's true. And it could just be season 4. Anyway, so Kathleen said, Amnesia's storylines are not a favorite of mine, neither is Slouching Towards Bethlehem. With the gang trying everything to not let Cordy know about the supernatural world she lives in, to her turning to Connor, of all people, I don't enjoy these parts of the episode. I did like seeing Lila being Lila by misleading Wes into thinking Wolf and Hart were going after Cordelia. Being with Wes hasn't changed her. I didn't like that her misleading led to Lauren getting beaten and bruised. I like little things in this episode. The callback to Cordelia singing a song she performed in season 1 of Buffy. Cordy calling Angel Angie. Gunn trying to deny what we as fans have been feeling for a while, that he's just the muscle and sidekick, but the writers won't do anything to help his cause. And lastly, that despite this episode not being up to par, that it might be leading to something good for the season, what with Lauren completely freaking out about what he read from Cordelia. So thank you, Kathleen.
I did really like how he freaks out and is kind of stumbly and just kind of leaves the room going, and shuts the door, and then they have Angel do the exact same thing.
Well, I liked Angel's better, because Angel lying is funny to me, because he can't. When he leads a secret life, though.
Right.
Yeah. So the what I wanted to talk about was Lila and Wesley, because that's really kind of the only thing I want to talk about. That I'm interested in talking about for this particular episode.
Probably the most interesting thing in the episode.
Oh, no, it's not probably, it is.
Okay, and I did want to add to her comments, she says being with Wes hasn't changed her. Well, apparently being with Lila hasn't changed Wes, which was kind of nice. So
let's talk about how much do you think has it changed? Because I think it's changed maybe not a bit, but it's added a new layer to her. Yeah, it is interesting. Because my fear with Lila that we've talked about before is that I don't want her relationship with Wesley to compromise her as a quote-unquote evil character, because they went through so much work to go through just having Lila is not... Is irredeemable the word I want to use? I guess it is. That she's not changing.
Right.
Because I think the defining Lila quote is what she said to Angel last season, that mask that you're talking about, I became that years ago. And you can't go back on that just because she's getting some good side action. No.
I think it's really interesting because they finally labeled it as a relationship.
Well, Wesley,
and you can obviously see that the two of them actually care for each other.
There is I think that is a genuine cute-ish, because it's Delilah and Wesley, couple moment when she has him write on the dollar that he called it a relationship first. And she seems happy with him, but at the same time, she's going to use that relationship to get what she wants. And
she's still going to be Lila.
Yeah. And what she says, what did she say? What is her exact wording? Something like, if I really thought you trusted me, I never would have played you to begin with.
Yeah.
So, they both... And the thing that, it doesn't become that she, like, betrayed him. That's not why he's angry. He's angry because he forgot. At least that's what I'm getting at. He forgot what they were.
See, I didn't take it as that.
Or what she is.
I think he's more angry that he still, through all his bravado and him, I'm bad, blah, 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 he's still the same Wesley that cares about
that's what I mean
his friends and everything else.
That's what I mean by he forgot what they were. Because he's trying to act like, well, I'm with Lila now, and we're weird sexual mind games we're doing, but deep down I can't be that person. That's what he's angry about. Because Lila is just she's not lying about who she is. He knows what's going on, and she knows what's going on, and Wesley is still trying to be the hero. Which I find interesting.
I do find it really interesting, and as
I find everything with Wesley lately.
I mean, spoiler alert, but one of the ending conversation will end up being my favorite moment. But
okay, that's fine. It's not like you have a lot of moments to choose from.
Yeah, that is true as well, which is kind of sad. But the way they have the tension in that relationship, like they've been able to explore a lot of facets with that. And at first it was kind of these two characters hate each other and they're sexing each other, but now that it's an actual labeled relationship and there's actual feelings there, yet, Lila will end up not betraying him, but using that relationship, and how he is genuinely hurt by it. Like, you can tell that he actually cares for her. Because he's pissed off.
And I think she genuinely didn't kill Lorne because of Wesley.
Right.
I don't think... she's not going to kill Angel because the senior partners don't want that. But I don't think she'll touch any of them fatally because of Wesley. Which is a nice way to just keep Lila in the mix and still have her be evil. And then still have the relationship with Wesley.
Right. And it's a better excuse of why Wolfram Hart hasn't killed them already.
Well, I've never had a problem with the fact, again, they need to pay that off at some point, and we are in the penultimate season, so the clock is ticking for this apocalypse that Angel is supposed to be a part of. So, as long as the apocalypse comes and Angel's a part of it, then I'm fine with Wolfram Hart not killing him.
Right.
That's all they need to do. Just have that apocalypse.
Just little things. Little things.
Like the end of the world, and that might be this season, because who knows?
Is there anything else?
I've already said no.
Okay. Again, all of the callbacks are nice. Little moments.
Stop trying. Let's just
go on.
Of course.
Okay. Well, I already spoiled my favorite.
Yeah, you want to talk about it more because that's more net.
Well, no, I just really like how they really lead into that scene, and like you already quoted it, but if I thought that you ever trusted me, I wouldn't have played you like that. Which is actually I mean, it shows she's at least human. You know?
Well, that's what I like, that Lila can be human and she can be evil and selfish and out for herself. That's not... It's something they could never... Well, they never really tried with Lindsay. They wanted to make him complicated and conflicted. But it is something... And it's not something they did with Holland, really, either. Because Holland was just evil. But he was so fun at being evil, it didn't matter that he was kind of a cartoon.
Yeah.
Where she can be human... And she can be totally human, and she can be totally evil as well.
Right. She can still be complex and
straightforward.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she is still evil, but she does have layers, which is nice.
Yeah, there's no denying that she's a bad person. But she's also a person, so... That's where the thing. All right, so yeah,
and I like that there's more going on with Wes, like him still struggling with his identity is nice to me.
Yeah.
So what did you end up going with?
I actually ended up going with Cordelia going over her memories, her boxes of memories, because I liked Cordelia, and that was Cordelia being Cordelia. Not much more to it than that. That's pretty straightforward and transparent. That's how I feel about it. And it's also, as much as I don't like the amnesia storyline, we are still able to have a Cordelia presence on the show because she acts like Cordelia. It's not like she acts like she does in that first scene where she doesn't know who she is or who you are, and she just has a blank expression. First few minutes of that scene. Anyway,
I was really hoping they'd cut to like that. There's that one picture that they have framed that they always go to. That's Wes, Angel, and Cordelia. I don't know. For some reason, I really thought that she was going to pull that.
Well, that's the only one that looks like an actual picture.
Yeah.
The other ones are clearly promo shots from previous episodes, and or just like screenshots.
Right.
Because I've seen all of this before in that exact pose when I'm looking for episodes. Episode pictures for the WordPress posts and reviews.
And then Cordelia's terrible hairs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I like the joke about Cordelia's hair, that's why she thinks she's a spy. Actually, I'm not... So I said before in Season 3 that Season 4 was my least favorite haircut. I'm not... It may not have morphed into what I hate, but I actually don't mind it.
Yeah, I think it looks
the
fun.
worst one is that beehive one that weird like mess of hair.
Yeah, that she is like, ugh.
Yeah, that looks like a wig because it's so
big.
It's so black and big. Anyway, enough of hair chat. What are you giving this? Just let the dogs bark. I've lost the will to live.
Yeah, that's fine. Why don't you give your score first? I went first last time.
Okay. I'm going to give this a 55. Which actually is probably too high. Because I literally watched this 2 hours ago and it's already slipping from my memory.
I mean, it is a lot of setup. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's good.
Yeah, that's true. For some reason, I had less of a problem with this episode than I did last week.
Okay, that I cannot understand.
Little sense to me.
Because I remember last week, I've already forgotten large chunks of this.
I'm going to give this a 59 out of 100. Again, a lot of setup, and a lot of little funny moments, and I enjoyed getting Cordelia back, even if it's not really...
Well, I like what Gunn says, that it's not Cordelia, really. I don't know. Maybe? Who cares? The way that he says it's not Cordelia, but then kind of backtracks on that, because it kind of is Cordelia, but she's not Cordelia, but who knows? Whatever. Can't talk about it.
Angel's the real champion. Boob grabs.
Angel has never groped her. Without her consent.
True.
So there is
what the hell? So weird.
It's not okay. it's not like he goes to do it. It seems like it's an accident.
Right.
Like they're spooning and they turn over and there's the moment where he's touching it and he doesn't remove his hand.
Right, and like her eyes like go wide, like what the hell? And then he does the like hand over mouth. Oh, someone's here.
Yeah, whatever.
But it was really bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, if you'd like to leave us some feedback, you can do so by commenting on the post at theangelrewatch.wordpress.com.
Or you can send an email to angelrewatch@gmail.com.
Or you can call our voicemail number at 206-203-3276.
Have you noticed that I've lost the will?
You've lost the will.
We're 4 episodes in. It's already going downhill. Anyway, if you want to go to the Tumblr, which is angelrewatch.tumblr.com, you can go there.
We're also available.
Make me positive about this season because the apathy is set again.
Hey, I tried really hard with this episode.
I'm just saying that's an open call to anybody who wants to convince me.
It'll get better. It'll get weirder, but it'll get better.
Hopefully. Okay.
We're also available on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher. While you're there, leave us a review. It really helps promote the show. You can follow me on Twitter at NerdGuyWilliam.
And you can follow me on Twitter and tell me at the Conformador.
And next time, we'll be reviewing Supersymmetry, where Fred's article is published and she's invited to speak at a symposium where a portal opens.
Okay, I actually remember this being somewhat decent.